Tonight, a local dealership destroyed.
Second crew went in afterwards, and then they were chased out by the ceiling falling down.
An overnight firefight in Dutton leaves a hole in the community.
We'll just have to work through this, and we will overcome this.
Plus, breaking down a ballooning budget, spending and funding debated as the Thames Valley School Board's deficit clears $30 million. And bring your hunger. Ribfest is back for another summer at Victoria Park.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight in Dutton, southwest of London. A large fire broke out last night in one of the small town's largest employers. Sean Irvin has more on the firefight and what's left.
A car dealership in the heart of small-town southwestern Ontario sits in ruins. The flames over Cotrac Ford Lincoln in Dutton dominated the night sky late Wednesday. At least 50 firefighters from 5 departments responded.
You could just see the flames coming through the smoke, and like they just couldn't get a handle on all the flames coming through. It was just crazy. Like you would just see it die down and then just huge flames engulf it.
The deputy chief tells CTV News London firefighters entered the building with only smoke showing, but it was not long before they were overcome by heat.
They came down, second crew went in afterwards, and then they were chased out by the ceiling falling down. And at that time, I pulled everybody out, and we went defensive.
One firefighter sustained a shoulder injury as he fled. He was treated at hospital and released. Meanwhile, the battle against the flames raged until 3 a.m., with police officers aiding in the evacuation of 2 nearby apartment buildings.
Because when the fire got going to the back, it got into the trees, and the departments are pretty close.
With hotspots flaring up into the morning, the site remained under police barricades and roadblocks. The Ontario Fire Marshal's office is investigating. Damage to the building, plus 4 new and 1 vintage vehicle, is expected to run into the millions. Cotrac Ford has been part of this community for nearly a century. Its sudden loss hits hard with members of the Corneal family, which owns the business. Approximately 25 people work for the dealership.
It's one of our major employers in town.
Dutton-Dunwich Mayor Mike Hentz is thankful no one was seriously hurt, but makes it clear the town has suffered a loss.
Well, bad things happen, and we'll just have to work through this, and we will overcome this.
For some, this blaze has brought back the memory of a huge fire in Dutton 2 decades ago that took out this huge swath of the downtown. They worry this fire could also leave a hole in the heart of the community.
We have been through this before, and it is another void on our main street.
Although it was hard for him to speak about it, Cotrac's legacy owner Phil Corneal did make 2 pledges. The first to his customers and his community.
Well, we do plan to rebuild.
The other in gratitude to responders.
I'm really impressed with what the firefighters did. They really tried.
While firefighters finalized the cause of the blaze, Gregory believes it started in the showroom's south corner. In Dutton, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Hazy conditions have settled over our region today. Environment Canada has issued a special air quality statement for parts of southern Ontario, including London and Middlesex. According to the weather agency, smoke from wildfires in northern Ontario has moved into the area. The worst of it was expected this afternoon, with conditions improving to low-risk levels by tomorrow. Anyone with respiratory concerns is advised to reduce outdoor activity.
Good evening. The rain has moved out, but now we're dealing with some smoke from the forest fires. In the prairies, it's filtered into southern Ontario, prompting Environment Canada to issue a special air quality statement. We are reporting smoke at the London airport, and air quality is poor. So if you are heading out this evening, especially if you're heading out for an evening run, although the temperatures are cooler, best to avoid strenuous outdoor activity. You can even smell the smoke in the air. This is a map of the forest fire smoke, and this is reading the black carbon, and you can see how far south it has settled. We are seeing high risk air quality in and around the area to moderate risk, so please be aware of that as you head out through the evening hours. Satellite radar showing this rainfall dropping off to the south and moving eastward. We're in for high pressure. Beautiful sunshine and clear conditions. Stay with us. Your local forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Julie. Officials with the Thames Valley District School Board are projecting a ballooning budget with a $32 million deficit for the upcoming school year. It's raising serious questions about spending as well as Ontario's overall education funding model. Is it mismanagement, underfunding, or both? Rita Ismail reports.
Ontario Education Minister Paul Calandra says he's disappointed after learning Thames Valley District School Board is now projecting a $32 million deficit for the current trustee-approved budget. That's nearly double the initial estimate. The report says due to declining enrollment, there will be staffing reductions across the organization, and surplus land sales will be considered to reduce the budget deficit. In part, the 88-page budget report reads, TVDSB is in a structural deficit position as a result of an imbalance in revenue and expenditures, as opposed to an imbalance based on one-off or short-term factors. As such, difficult decisions and prioritization of resources are required. Back in April, the Ontario government appointed a supervisor, Paul Bonifero, to oversee TVDSB due to concerns about financial mismanagement. This action was taken in response to an audit revealing financial irregularities and a multi-million-dollar deficit. Former TVDSB board chair Beth Mai says it's clear that what happened this past year with the senior administrative retreat, for which funds were repaid, is indicative of inappropriate spending. But she warns the deeper issue is a structural deficit caused by insufficient provincial funding. In a statement to CTV News, Mai says the minister's focus on school board scandals, whose financial implications pale in comparison to the province's funding issues, feels inauthentic, like a distraction from the root causes of school board funding crisis, which lies squarely at his feet. Meantime, critics say both government and senior management are responsible for the ballooning board budget. Education analyst and researcher Debbie Kassman says there is a funding problem impacting every school board in the province, but that is just the tip of the iceberg. Kassman writes the provincial government needs to eliminate the role of school board trustee entirely and enhance parental involvement committees that should continue to be mandatory in every school board across the province, operate in an advisory capacity, and support and enhance parent engagement at the board level while enhancing student achievement and well-being. All school board budgets were due today. Updates on the board's financial recovery plan will be released in the coming months. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
London police say they're investigating an incident at a home in East London that sent a child to hospital. According to police, they were called for a welfare check on a toddler at a home on Booley Street Tuesday morning. They say a little girl was found with injuries and she was taken to hospital in Toronto for treatment. Police have not provided any information on potential charges, only saying the Sexual Assault and Child Abuse Unit has taken over the case. London police say they don't expect to lay charges after a motorcycle rider hit a pedestrian last night. Police say it happened around 8:30 p.m. near Wellington and Wilkins Street, just south of the Lamplighter Inn. According to police, both the motorcycle rider and pedestrian were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Emergency crews were called to a beach in Meford yesterday after a swimmer was found unresponsive. According to Grey Bruce OPP, the man was found floating at a waterfront property on Georgian Bay. They say CPR was performed, but the man was pronounced dead at the scene. Provincial health officials are reporting dozens of new measles cases. They say the vast majority of the 54 new cases are in the Sudbury area. That new cluster is linked to several private gatherings, which led to exposures at public locations. The total number of cases in Ontario since an October outbreak is now more than 2,300. Health officials say patients are predominantly unvaccinated. The owners of a local farm are honoring one of their employees currently going through a serious health battle. Scott Miller has more on the show of support taking up a whole farmer's field.
Rose Shattuck and her family are soaking up the yellow glow of thousands of sunflowers planted in Rose's honor.
I grew sunflowers every year and had a contest with a neighbor, so this makes me very happy.
Rose lost the use of her voice shortly after being diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, last year. Since 1998, Shattuck has worked for Clausen Farms near Brucefield as a financial coordinator. But over time, she became more than just someone who helped with their family finances.
Well, she became a friend to the family. She's very close, and she has done a lot to us. And this mean disease is really devastating, and we really didn't know what else to do and to help her and support her.
So the Clausens created Rose's Garden on their farm, more than an acre of sunflowers for people to come and pick and take pictures with as a fundraiser for the ALS Society of Canada.
It's really nice seeing all the cars stopping by and getting in and really picking flowers. Sometimes I go here and let them know, please also pick some, just don't be shy and enjoy them. Yeah, and sunflowers just make you smile.
The field of sunflowers in her name was more than Rose could have asked for from the Clausens, who hold a special place in her heart as well.
It means a lot to me for ALS research. We just did a walk and raised $8,000, and this just makes it better, and Clausens mean a lot to me.
Donations from the sunflower field have been flowing in, surpassing the $2,000 the Clausens will match, for a minimum donation in Rose's honor of more than $4,000 to the ALS Society of Canada.
People have been donating, which is really nice to see, and also just the messages that we've been getting online is very heartwarming and very touching. Like people telling their stories about like how they have a relative with ALS. And
Rose's Garden can be found on the Clausens farm on Airport Line near Brucefield. In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Coming up, Trump's tariff deadline is tomorrow, but at this point, there's no resolution in sight. Plus, Canada joins a growing number of Western nations planning to recognize a Palestinian state.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. A trade talk extension was announced today between the United States and Mexico. As of right now, the August 1st deadline still stands for Canada before a tariff hike is imposed. With the latest on those negotiations, here's Jeremy Sherrill.
U.S. President Donald Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced today a 90-day extension to negotiate a new deal on tariffs. Canada doesn't have a deal yet, and there is no indication so far we'll get the same extension.
We haven't spoken to Canada today. He's called, and we'll see. But we have made a few deals today that are excellent deals for the country.
A similar agreement would, of course, help Canada, though. Experts have said the Carney government shouldn't be rushing to get a deal done, as the CUSMA deal already in place gives Canada a better starting point than most. And today, a sign of encouragement for Canada's aluminum sector. In the wake of Ford Motor Company reporting a substantial hit from tariffs, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told CNBC today that Ford relies heavily on aluminum, and Washington will take that into account at the negotiating table.
I believe that the Ford, F-150, 250, their big truck series is made out of aluminum instead of steel, which is different than other cars. So I think maybe the aluminum tariffs have hit them harder. We will be negotiating with Canada on those.
As it stands, Canada faces an increased tariff of 35% on goods not covered under CUSMA as of tomorrow. Now, most countries that have so far landed a tariff deal with Trump have faced a baseline lower tariff of 15% across the board. Some experts have suggested if Canada can get the same, but only on non-CUSMA products, it would be seen as a win. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Among a flurry of trade announcements this week, President Trump also signed an executive order ending a tariff loophole. It allowed low-cost goods to be imported into the U.S. duty-free. Geneviève Beauchemin has more on what the change could mean for Canadian small businesses.
From her home studio in Montreal, Tamara Bavdag designs unique jewelry. I work with vintage lace. I make mostly statement pieces.
Works of art, really, that her business, this ilk, ships around the globe, a third to addresses south of the border. Now, the U.S. is scrapping a provision that exempts goods shipped into the U.S., those valued at less than $800 American from duties or taxes. It's called the de minimis exemption. De minimis, from Latin, meaning lacking significance or importance, so minor as to merit disregard.
Is this part of your vocabulary like 6 months ago?
So the word wasn't until until Trump started announcing tariffs.
Duties will be calculated based on the IEEPA tariff rate of the country of origin?
The impact of this move isn't clear to all business owners. Really appreciate it. This is Tamara. So we called in an expert, Samuel Roscoe from the University of British Columbia.
Your $100 shipment would be taxed and dutied at the same rate as a $2,000 shipment, right? So you're basically going to be paying whatever rate that is agreed on between Canada and the United States. I wish I could give you some more good news tomorrow, but unfortunately, I think Trump seems to be making it as difficult as possible to do business with U.S. customers at the moment.
I think that what I'm really worried about is this logistics, because I'm sending one package at a time to customers. And if I'm filling out a form every time, or I don't even know where I'm supposed to find this form. I don't know if my packages can get stuck.
I pretty much guarantee you there's going to be delays for shipments into the States as a direct result of this. I hope that the message gets across that we do need to support our local Canadian small and medium-sized businesses, and because otherwise you guys are going to really struggle.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. A few answers, but still a lot of questions as to the real-life impact on Canadians. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Another factor in trade negotiations, the Prime Minister's decision to recognize a Palestinian state. President Trump posted on social media last night saying that would make getting a deal done even harder. Abigail Beeman has more on the timing and the implications.
News Canada intends to recognize Palestinian statehood lands with hope on the streets of Gaza. This teacher thanks Canada and feels the world is beginning to wake up.
The level of human suffering in Gaza is intolerable, and it's rapidly deteriorating.
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister posted this photo saying Canadian aid is beginning to enter Gaza and thanking Jordan for facilitating an airdrop. Fighting over what falls, Gazans say airdropped food is like a dog chasing a bone. The U.S.'s special envoy landed in Jerusalem, while the president mixed foreign policy and trade, posting in the middle of the night, Canada's decision will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, apostrophe, Canada.
This is just Trump trying to use yet another tactic to put pressure on Canada. And I'm frankly very proud that the Prime Minister and his government made that decision, even though I have no doubt somebody was telling them that this could impact the trade negotiations.
I think the government is putting the cart before the horse here.
The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs is concerned the government didn't tie its conditions to the release of hostages or the immediate removal of Hamas, worried it will embolden the terrorist group.
Conceivably, we're going to have Canada recognize a Palestinian state where Gaza is still under the control of Hamas, and innocent Israelis are still being held hostages in the terror dungeons of Gaza.
CJA says there is increased fear and concern in the Canadian Jewish community in the wake of the government's decision, fear of even more anti-Jewish hate and attacks. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canadian swimmer Summer Macintosh now has 3 gold medals at the World Championships in Singapore. As John Venevalley-Rao reports, she was also just a fraction of a second away from setting a new world record.
Well, Summer Macintosh does it again, winning that 3rd gold medal and almost getting a world record, off by 0.2 of a second. She was visibly frustrated by that, but a golden moment nonetheless, and her quest for 5 gold medals at the World Aquatics Championships continues. Here's what the 18-year-old had to say about her swim.
To see that I missed it by that little, and I know that I messed up the last about 15 meters of my race. I mean, overall, really happy with the time of the PB, but I didn't reach my goal tonight. But happy with the gold, happy with the win, and just gonna keep pushing forward.
And we were here this morning at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Centre with some of the young swimmers who gathered around an iPad to watch the race live. So many of them said they were in awe of Macintosh and inspired by what she's doing, attempting to match the record set by the legendary Michael Phelps, who's the only person to have won 5 individual gold medals at a world championship.
It's like crazy. She's like a literal machine. Pretty cool.
Based off of watching Summer and her reaction, I think she was frustrated that she was so close to the world record and didn't get it. But she just has that like hungry spirit, and it just motivates everyone around her.
She's bringing attention to everyone in Canada about the sport of swimming. That doesn't happen very often. And the people that are involved in the sport of swimming are like all in watching her and rooting for her.
Now Macintosh, who's of course from Toronto, will next go for gold on Saturday in the 800-meter freestyle. That is a highly anticipated race because she'll go up against Katie Ledecky, who is the current world record holder in that event. And then on Sundays, she'll try again for gold in the 400-meter individual medley, an event she is favored to win. John Benavelli-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Ribfest is taking over Victoria Park this weekend. With more on the event's 36th edition, here's Nick Paparella.
Step right up! Rippin' for a living. Right here, folks.
It's the sights, sounds, and aroma of the London Ribfest that attracts thousands of people every civic holiday long weekend at Victoria Park.
Who cooks ribs like Fat Boys?
Fat Boys is back as the defending champs.
Like, we've got beautiful product. We love we have beautiful sauces. Our ribs are amazing. But just to be in our hometown and to stand here where we've set up the last 21 years and to take that trophy home was a crazy accomplishment for myself personally and for the team. We were all super proud.
Ricky is well aware that 9 other ribbers will be gunning for this year's title.
You know what? There's not a bad rib here. Everyone's got something. All the guys here work really, really hard to pull off the Ribfest here in London and to make sure that we come here with our A game on. So I respect the hustle. I respect the competition immensely, and I'm ready to go. You know, anybody here want to put out their best ribs? I am happy to sell up mine, and we can all see who's going to take home the trophy this year.
Barbecue! London man!
Jack the Ribber is a previous winner, and they are hoping to barbecue their way to victory. What goes into making a great rib?
Well, a big thing with us is the wood that we smoke with. We always start with a nice base of hickory smoke for the flavor, and then we like to use local fruit wood. So this weekend we got some beautiful local plum wood from London, and it's given it a beautiful flavor and a beautiful color coming out on these racks. I feel like that's the start that really separates us. And then our sauce, 3 generations of sauce passed down. Told my grandma in the will what I want is the recipe for the sauce.
Organizer Doug Hillier says the London Ribfest offers so much more than just finger-licking flavor.
We've got the top 10 ribbers in Canada. Paired with that, we've got live music on stage and 2 stages with EDM and country line dancing. 100 vendors in the park that's selling amazing food, and it's just a fantastic way to spend your day.
Crazy Canucks, folks! Fresh ribs out the smoker! Come get some!
Those who were already digging in loved what they were tasting.
So the rib tastes very good, delicious, and sweet sour flavor. It's our favorite flavor.
How great are the ribs here?
Oh, the ribs are fantastic. The flavor is off the charts. And a wise man once said, just pick the shortest line.
You're right. Hey, don't mind if I do myself here. You know what? Here, thanks a lot. These are really, really good. Hey, Nick, those are my ribs.
Oh, well, Ribfest is on now until Monday night. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
On the desk now with Julie Atchison. Did get some rain this morning, and we've been talking about that this week, about how we needed it. It had been dry, and kind of like we got it out of the way ahead of the long weekend, because it's looking pretty sunny now.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky in terms of this frontal boundary that's sinking further southward, bringing in the much-needed rainfall early in the day. The sun came out, and of course people flocking to the beach. I know many of you have beach plans, you're on vacation, so this forecast heading into a holiday weekend, you want it to be beautiful and sunny. And this one delivers on that. 23 degrees, mid-20s across the area. But I mentioned earlier about the air quality. We have that smoke being reported at the London airport, and that's been through the afternoon. And as I mentioned, you can likely smell it out there. Overcast conditions now dropping that cloud cover. Moving on out with the rainfall. So we have the stationary boundary, as I mentioned, and bringing that rain. Almost this morning, I was like, oh, this is nice. It was nice to have a bit of a break, to see some rainfall out there. You can give your grass and gardens a nice drink from Mother Nature. Satellite radar showing the clearing that's taking hold, but we have this northerly flow, and that's bringing in the smoke from the north. That'll continue heading into tomorrow, so we will be keeping an eye on the smoke and the air quality. But through the day today, air quality has dropped into those poor levels in parts of southern Ontario. High pressure building for the weekend. Cool and yes, dry. The air mass, we're not going to see the extreme heat and humidity. It's not going to be sticky out there. It'll be really a nice break, especially if you struggle with the heat and if you work outdoors. A nice change on the way. Now, where things have shifted, if you remember last week and early this week, it was cool in Western Canada. So now they've shifted into some heat, and the cool, dry air has moved across the Great Lakes and out to the Maritimes. Temperatures anywhere from 20 to 23 degrees this evening. Not a lot to show you on the forecast model. That's a bit of a change. Skies will be mainly clear. A few fair weather clouds in the afternoon, so we'll go from sunny to mainly sunny to a bit of a mix of sun and cloud. But other than that, rainfall will be well off to the north, and nothing's expected to move in for us tomorrow. Overnight, comfortable. Temperatures dropping off anywhere between 11 and 12 degrees, a bit milder along the lakeshore from 13 to 16 degrees. Your Friday forecast, sunshine and light winds to start, mainly sunny at noon, and a mix of sun and cloud with a light northerly flow continuing into the afternoon, the high 26. So let's get to this long weekend forecast. Our Metal Roof Outlet forecast for Saturday, sunshine and 26, 28 on Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud on Monday. This is a dominant area of high pressure, and forecast models not showing anything moving in, so we are in the clear. This weekend is looking fantastic, 26 to 28 degrees. We won't bring in the opportunity for showers until Wednesday, and the probability is low at a 30% chance. With the humidity starts to move back in Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll feel like the mid-30s, but with forecast highs from 25 to 27, it'll feel like 28 to 30, so not a big jump. You won't be sweating it out. It's not going to feel like a sauna. It'll feel like beautiful, gorgeous weather, sunshine, low humidity, and fantastic as we move right through the holiday weekend right across Ontario.
Thank you, Julie. Still ahead, too old to rent. The Ontario senior accusing a rental company of age discrimination.
Leanne, a new study says the average person thinks about money 4 hours a day.
They're checking their bank account every single day as well. And why stress about that when you can just win $100 in OLG tickets with us?
Tomorrow morning, 7:10. Good luck.
Officials with Stats Canada say our national economy contracted for a second straight month in May, but there are signs of a rebound in June. Goods-producing sectors were blamed for the decline in May, mainly in mining, quarrying, oil and gas. Manufacturing activity grew 0.7% in May, offsetting a 1.8% drop in April when the U.S. tariffs took full effect. Officials say early estimates indicate GDP growing 0.1% in June, thanks to strength in retail and wholesale trade, but another decline in manufacturing is expected. An Ontario man is calling out a rental car company for age discrimination after his business was refused because he's more than 79 years old. As Pat Foran reports, it's a detail that might be hiding in the fine print.
My whole mission in this is just to let people know.
Carol Ann and John Jenisak of Oakville recently visited with family in British Columbia. Before they left, they made sure to book a rental car. But when they got to the rental counter in Victoria, they got a surprise.
When John handed her his driver's license, she said, "Oh dear, I'm sorry, but we can't rent to you because you're over 79. Which we had never heard of before.
Carol Ann was still 79 for another 3 months, so luckily she was able to rent the car as long as she did the driving, and John, who is 85, didn't get behind the wheel. The couple says the situation could have been worse.
If you had a trip arranged and you put deposits on hotels, that could be quite costly.
The Genesacks rented a car with National Car Rental, whose parent company is Enterprise Mobility. A spokesperson told CTV News the National Car Rental branch in Victoria, BC, sets its own policies and procedures. Their age requirements for rental are outlined on their website under key facts and policies when you begin a reservation. Every rental company is different, and some don't have age restrictions, but some do. You could be denied a rental car if you're over 79 years of age, over 70 outside of Canada, if you're younger than 21 or 25 years old, if you have limited driving experience, have a bad credit rating, if you don't present a valid driver's license, or you don't have the proper form of payment. Most rental companies won't accept cash without a credit card on file. Last year, CTV News did a story with Brian Barnard of Etobicoke, who was denied a car rental because he wanted to pay with a prepaid credit card.
It was frustrating to go all the way there and then to be told that, you won't take my form of payment.
If you're planning to rent a car, you'll want to check the fine print to make sure your trip goes as planned. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index finished lower today with broad-based losses. The TSX fell 110 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 330. The Nasdaq was down 7. The Canadian dollar slid almost 1/5 cent today. On commodity markets, gold fell more than $4 an ounce, and oil lost 74 cents a barrel. Coming up, Canada Life Place converted for firefighter training. Local crews dropping from the rafters, practicing their rappelling techniques. Welcome back. Health Canada officials are warning about a shortage of prescription painkillers. There are alternatives available for some, but as Jacqueline Wilson reports, others find themselves in a tough spot.
It's very unbearable. It really is.
A workplace accident in 2020 left Tony Heimbrock with chronic pain.
I fell 14 feet onto the concrete floor.
Since then, the Okotoks man says he's developed chronic migraines and a heart issue. While working, he used 2 to 3 Percocets a day. Now, because of a drug shortage, he says he's holding on to his last 2 pills.
I just sort of keep very low-keyed and try not to do anything and participate in life anymore. And it shouldn't be that way.
It's not just in Alberta. Canada is experiencing a nationwide shortage of both acetaminophen with oxycodone and codeine from manufacturing distribution at Teva Canada Limited. Health Canada says the situation is expected to improve by mid-August, but supply constraints are expected to continue until the end of September.
It's really helpful for us if patients are on these products that they call us before they're completely out of their medication to give us a bit of time to figure it out. They shouldn't panic. There are some alternatives that can be figured out for them. It just might take a bit of time because pharmacies will need to talk to the physicians.
Unfortunately for Heimbrock, other health issues leave him unable to use most alternatives.
If they had known that there was a prescription shortage in that medication, then some people can get by on other pain medications.
Howden thinks more suppliers and better communication about shortages can help prevent situations like this in the future.
One thing that we are seeing trends in here in Canada over the last decade or more is more single source or only dual source products. And what that means is you get one shortage of one manufacturer and all of a sudden you have no product available.
Tony Heimbrock hopes to get access again soon so he can get back to a more active and pain-free life. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Premier Doug Ford says he's working with Canadian telecom providers to ensure remote First Nations have reliable internet access after he decided to cancel the province's contract with Elon Musk's Starlink.
I had meetings with him actually last week and saying, hey, we got to get moving on this. And it's unfortunate we had to cancel that, but I can't deal with a guy that, well, I guess the divorce happened between him and Trump, but the guy was attacking our country, and I just couldn't do it.
Government officials say there will be a fee to cancel the $100 million contract, which had been announced last year to deliver high-speed internet to thousands of rural and northern Ontario residents. The Premier says the decision to kill the deal was made back in March when President Trump moved ahead with tariffs. The province of Alberta is one step closer to holding a referendum on separating from Canada. A referendum question has now been approved, and it's now open for signatures, asking whether Albertans agree their province should remain in Canada. The referendum will be triggered if about 290,000 people sign by October 28th. Firefighters took to the rafters inside Canada Life Place for specialized training today.
These skills here could be deployed anywhere from a bridge abutment to electrical tower, cranes, or even buildings.
High above ice level, technical rescue team members were honing their skills. These firefighters rappelled down the sides of buildings, excavations, or steep embankments. The opportunity to train inside the arena meant crews didn't have to worry about this week's unsettled weather.
We're happy to have them anytime they want to come in. We've had the London Police Department that have done training exercises in here too.
I can't speak enough about Canada Life Place allowing us to be able to use their great facility here.
We're excited. The festivals continue downtown London. It's time for your London List. We're joined by KP for mornings on 97.5 Virgin Radio and the London List powered by Downtown London. Take us to Victoria Park. This is the big one.
My favorite. It's a summer staple in the city. It's Ribfest. It's on all long weekend. Kicks off today. Wraps up on Monday. You go, you check out all the different rib vendors there. It's a big competition. And don't wear white because that's a mistake I've made in the past.
Yeah, you don't want to get saucy.
No, don't get saucy. But it's so good. And again, weather's looking great for that too. So lots of vendors, live music, and of course admission is absolutely free.
KP, you're always mentioning all of these different bites and eats, but Londonlicious continues.
Londonlicious does continue. Londonlicious.ca, by the way, for the full list of all the participating restaurants. But this is your second last weekend to get in on the action. Test out some restaurants that are on your bucket list. I actually just went to Garlic's and I had their 2-course dinner. It was $45 and it was like steak and smoked salmon, and you can choose all the different things, but it was so good. And again, at a reduced price too. So you can check out Londonlicious for the full list and go treat yourself and support local.
All right, staying downtown, we got a couple baseball games.
Yeah, one to kick off the weekend, one to wrap up the weekend. So Friday night, we've got the Majors taking on Toronto. First pitch is 7:35, and then back at it on Monday against the Welland Jackfish in the afternoon.
All right, what's happening at Dundas Place?
We've got the library block section of Dundas Place popping with their summer market. This happens every single Saturday in the summer from 4 until 9. It's free, great for kids, great for your friends. If you just want an outing that's cost effective, and again, good vibes, go and check this one out.
All right, Graham Bend always is popping over the long weekend, but it's going to be a loud, awesome weekend at Graham Bend Motorplex, and they're celebrating their 25th anniversary.
Yeah, they're drag racing. This is going to be a lot of fun. Again, a big party because it's that 25th anniversary. So grab your friends, go out, watch some drag racing. I actually took my kids there last year for the first time, and they loved it. They had never seen a live race before, and they were just like in awe. So definitely really, really fun. It's an experience everyone has to go and check out. So you can check out their website for all the details on that.
All right, it's 25th anniversary. It's the Canadian Nationals, the biggest drag race in Canada. What else is happening?
We've got Calypso Fest. That's happening all weekend in Port Stanley. This is another summer staple. This is huge. They've got boat races. They've got all sorts of fireworks. They've got vendors and live music and yummy food and just, of course, beach vibes. So whether you're going to Grand Bend or Port Stanley, you're going to have a time this weekend.
All right, that's your London List with KP, and we'll see you next time. I will be sharing the best of summer pictures over the coming month. Thank you to Steve Ferguson Sr. for sending this photo in of his grandkids tubing. This is Lakin, Harlan, Nash, and Arbor, and those smiles that say it all. If you're heading to the lake this weekend, lots of sunshine and absolutely beautiful daytime highs over the weekend from 26 to 28 degrees.
Emergency management experts say the worst was avoided on Canada's west coast with a tsunami advisory canceled yesterday. However, they say this was not a singular event and the consequences could be more serious in the future. With more, here's Dimitra Maragos.
Shockwaves from across the world. An 8.8 magnitude earthquake striking off the coast of Russia, threatening to impact British Columbia's shorelines.
This is, an opportunity for a full dress rehearsal.
Kelly Green, the Minister of Emergency Management and Climate Readiness, says British Columbians should not dismiss Wednesday morning's canceled tsunami advisory.
It was quite a significant region that was under the advisory.
Green explaining that officials initially expected waves up to a foot, but after tracking, reported waves between 15 and 27 centimeters across coastlines in BC.
Not massive, but does create a significant hazard in the currents if you're near the water.
This can happen again. We are on the Ring of Fire in the Pacific Oceans.
Brett Gilley, a professor of Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Science at the University of British Columbia, says smaller wave sizes could come down to terrain.
And this might be a result of exactly how the arrangement of the fault was and how the arrangement of the movement of the ground was.
But the region shouldn't expect this every time.
We've been lucky in this one that we didn't see a lot of heavy damage, but certainly with an earthquake of that size, it's definitely possible.
Both Green and Gilley agree that the province's alert system did what it was supposed to do, which is
helps alert people that they need to take action, avoiding low-lying coastal areas, things like marinas and other places near the water.
Green added that she's still waiting to speak to local governments and First Nations about the response, but did say, based on the communication she saw, it's a well-oiled machine. Dimitri Maragos, CTV News, Vancouver.
Canadian humanitarian teams are airdropping aid into Gaza. The Israelis have loosened their restrictions on food and medicine entering the Gaza Strip after multiple international agencies raised concerns over famine-like conditions in the area. Officials in Jordan are helping coordinate the Canadian airdrops. Canadian authorities have issued a joint statement with several allies, including the U.S., UK, France, and Germany, condemning Iranian intelligence agents amid growing threats in their respective countries. The group's statement says the countries are united in opposition to Iranian intelligence efforts to kill, kidnap, and harass people. It says these services are increasingly collaborating with international criminal organizations targeting journalists, dissidents, Jewish citizens, as well as current and former officials, calling it unacceptable. Officials in the Indigenous tourism sector say it's growing and they want to build on that momentum, bringing more visitors to communities in Northern Ontario. With more, here's Amanda Hicks.
Indigenous tourism stands as one of Ontario's fastest growing tourism sectors. 1 in 3 international and domestic travelers are actively seeking Indigenous-focused experiences, according to Indigenous Tourism Ontario. On Manitoulin Island, Wikwemkong Tourism says business has been booming.
You're seeing a lot more domestic travelers, from the province making their way up, a lot of visitors from the GTA. We, of course, there's a lot of Europeans back on the island. So, it's kind of a normal year, kind of, where we were at about 2019.
Indigenous Tourism Ontario believes there are a number of reasons driving the interest.
With an influx of new Canadians coming to Canada or new visitors coming to Canada, they're interested in the true history of this country. And to top that off, we're in the era of truth and reconciliation, and a lot of people want to know, a different perspective.
The organization is hoping to continue bolstering that growth after launching the Indigenous Tourism Corridor Strategy for Northern Ontario earlier this month. The strategy would focus on creating a travel itinerary of businesses along the Toronto to Sault Ste. Marie corridor, in addition to Manitoulin Island, to draw more tourists north while supporting Indigenous businesses. Wikwemkong Tourism believes it will help address various challenges.
We've really seen a gap in terms of other communities and connecting other communities and other corridors or other Indigenous tourism business in Ontario. So this is going to be a great way for Indigenous tourism really to connect to those communities and connect those businesses in Ontario.
Indigenous Tourism Ontario is currently identifying businesses to be included in its itinerary, which will be unveiled at some point next year. Meanwhile, Wikwemkong Tourism is busy preparing for its annual Music and Arts Festival this weekend, promising a celebration of music, performances, and a youth chef showdown. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Welcome back. Animal rescue officials in Brantford are appealing for support after a puppy was found fighting for its life. According to a social media post, 2 people spotted a lone dog walking in the middle of the road. When they stopped to help, that dog led them into the bushes where they found 2 more dogs. Officials with the local SPCA say one of them has a severe botfly wound, can barely stand, and is experiencing seizures. They've set up an online fundraiser hoping to cover veterinary expenses. And finally tonight, a community effort in Guelph giving pets more space to play. As Ashley Bacon reports, the city is repurposing sports fields, turning them into temporary off-leash dog parks.
Creating more running room for man's best friend.
I think it gives everyone the shared ability to use lots of fields and spaces in the city of Guelph. And with that, it does give shared responsibility.
With dozens of these fields available, there's plenty of space for both people and pets.
This bylaw, where it gave authority to allow 41 different sports fields to be used as leash-free zones when no one was occupying that sports field.
The bylaw was first passed in 2019, but the city has been bringing attention to the program as of late, and local sports clubs don't seem to mind.
It's been great. I haven't seen any negative to it, to be honest. The people are outside enjoying the park space, which is wonderful when we're not using it, and it just allows people using these beautiful parks all the time.
The spaces are for people first, pets second.
Dog owners must maintain control of their dogs at all time, clean up after them, and if the sports field does become occupied, they'd have to remove their dog.
With consequences for those who don't follow the rules.
We always start with education, then we move to warnings if needed, and then we do lay charges if necessary.
It's been great. You know, dog owners are really good at taking care of themselves.
Ashley Bacon, CTV News, Guelph.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. Lauren Stallone will have your late news tonight at 11. I'm back next week. Bye for now.